Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Sharana and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you the progress that I've made on my Project Pan from 2021. If you don't already know, Project Pan is a decluttering project that's used to help minimize your beauty collection. I learned about it from the girls over at Beauty News, and I'm following their method of doing a rolling Project Pan, which basically just means that as I finish up one product, I go ahead and add in another one and continue tracking that progress throughout the year, instead of waiting until the next month before I add a new product in. I just roll the next one right in. First product that I've been using up is my Shea Moisture Conditioner. This is the low porosity protein free conditioner. So this conditioner is really good for moisture resistant curly and coily hair, which is exactly what my hair is. Low porosity means that it takes a lot for moisture to get into my hair, but once it's in there, it stays for a pretty long time. This conditioner has different ingredients and was formulated to help get that moisture into your hair quicker and maybe more efficiently than other conditioners that are on the market. I've had this one for years and years now because my hair stash is super old, because I found other products that I like using a lot more and then I forgot about these old ones. So I have had this for a while. It does still work really well and it's a really good conditioner. I just want to go ahead and finish it up because there's other products that I've got that I like a little bit more than this one. Next is my body lotion. So originally I was using the Bath & Body Works Black Amethyst lotion. I completely finished that one. So now I switched to the Pomegranate Citrus body lotion, again from Bath & Body Works. This is another travel size that I found in my collection. I've got a lot of fragrance, like body fragrance products, whether it's body sprays, shower gels, lotions. I have a lot of them, so I really want to get through them this year as much as I can. So this is your basic kind of everyday body lotion from Bath & Body Works. There's nothing too special about it. It smells really good. The citrus is kind of strong. It's a very fruity fragrance, which is nice. It's not my favorite fragrance though, so I won't mind finishing this up because I've got other ones that I like a little bit better. Sticking with body products, let's go to my body spray. So this is the Victoria's Secret Love Spell Fragrance Mist. And I didn't make a lot of progress from January to February, just using it on my body. But in February, I decided to start using it as a room spray because I really want to go ahead and get through this thing. I do love the scent of this one. I like the scent of this more than that body lotion that I talked about. But there's a lot in here, and it's going to take me a really long time to use this up. And I want to be able to get through some of the other products that I have. So before I get too bored with it, I decided I'm just going to use it as a body spray, but also as a room spray, maybe as a car spray if I leave it in my car for a little while, because I want to go ahead and use it up. But it is a nice one. I definitely would recommend it. I love the scent of this one. I actually like the scent of this one and the blue one that's called Rush. That one I like a lot too. So I think once I get through some more of this collection, those would be the ones that I would repurchase again. But for now, I'm kind of just trying to get through what I've got. So that's it for hair and body care. Let's go on to skincare products. This one is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist, and I've made some decent progress with this, not a lot of progress. I have like 3 other facial mists in my collection that I'm rotating through right now, so I don't really reach for this one as much as I should. It's a fine mist, it's okay. It's very fine, like it's a very, very like fine mist, which feels really good on the skin. But I'm not a big fan of the scent. It's watermelon, but it's like that fake watermelon, which is okay sometimes, but like it's not my favorite. So I like to use this after I've done my makeup if I start to look a little bit too powdery. It takes that powdery look away and makes my skin look like skin again, which is really nice. But I don't like using it as a skincare product, so I probably shouldn't have it in this category, but whatever, we're here now. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's not very hydrating. It says that it is, but like it's not very hydrating at all. I've got other mists that hydrate my skin way more than this one does. So I like this for the glow that it gives me. Like I said, it takes the powdery look off my skin. As of right now, I'm going to say no to repurchasing this, but I've still got a little ways to go, so maybe I'll change my mind later on. Next up is my toner. This is a Niacinamide Toner. I pulled the label off because I'm not supporting the brand anymore, so I don't even want their name on my account if I can help it. It's a fine toner. I've been using it a few times a week, so I've made about the same progress in February that I made in January. I need to use it up more. I have other toners that I like a little bit better than this one, and they're from brands that I actually don't mind saying the name of, so I would prefer to use those. But if I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, I need to put those to the side and really just focus on this. I don't really like layering this if I'm using a product in my routine that's a little bit more active. So like if I'm going to put retinol on, I normally don't layer this just because I know it's probably fine to layer niacinamide and retinol, and this is such a low amount, and my retinol is such a low amount that I shouldn't have any issues. But I'm like, I'll wait just in case. I don't need to use both at the same time. If I use this during the day, I can use the retinol at night, and I'm fine. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit since I don't use it morning and night every single day, but putting my other toners to the side, I should be able to get through this maybe in 6 months, hopefully before the end of the year. I think if I started out with half, I'm going to say probably by the summer, I should have this completely done, unless I can like step it up a little more before then. Next is my eye cream. So this is from the Inculist. It's the Brighten Eye Cream. And I've been weighing this to track the progress, but I can actually see through the packaging that I really only have a little bit down here at the bottom that's left. This is a fine eye cream. It's a good, like, basic, inexpensive option if that's something that you're looking for. One of the ingredients is made to help brighten your under eyes. It's supposed to help light reflect off that area so it doesn't look as dark. And I think there's other ingredients that help to actually, like, make your dark circles not look as dark, like actually improve the look of your skin. I've been using this eye cream exclusively for the last few months, and I really don't see any difference. My dark circles are genetic, so I don't really expect a cream to do that for me, but I do like the fact that this is hydrating under my eyes, and it lays really nicely under concealer, because some eye creams tend to pill up and they make your under eyes look really weird, and then you put concealer on top and it's like you gotta start all over again. This doesn't do that, so I do like that part of it. I wish it did a little bit more for my under eyes. I mean, it's fine. There's other eye creams out there that I like a little bit better, that I feel like actually do a little bit more for me. So I'm almost done with this. I've got a bunch of other eye creams in my stash that I'm excited to get to, but I do recommend this if you're looking for just a basic like $10 eye cream to just hydrate that area. This is a nice one. All right, a couple of skincare products that I finished. This one is my e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. It's a good basic moisturizer, so if you're just looking for something that's not going to interfere with any of the other products that you're using in your routine, don't want to spend a lot of money, want something that's pretty lightweight, like good for daytime or nighttime use, I do recommend this one. It's nice. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing really fancy about it at all. It's just a nice basic moisturizer. It does kind of smell like cucumbers a little bit because that's one of the main ingredients in here. So if you don't like scent, you might not like this. I went through this really quickly because I ended up using it like a body lotion towards the end of the month. I think it's just fine for my face. I don't have any issues using it on my face, but I have other moisturizers that I like a little bit more, and I was getting bored with this. So I was like, let me just use it up on my body, get rid of it, and get into a moisturizer that's more exciting to me right now. Since I finished up the e.l.f. moisturizer, I'm replacing it with my Inculist Peptide Moisturizer. So this one comes with a pump top. So you like press this down and then the product comes out of there. I'm gonna have to weigh this to see where I'm at right now and like keep my progress that way because I can't really like mark the side of it at all. So this is another really nice, just kind of basic everyday moisturizer. Another kind of gel cream texture. It's not very heavy on the skin, which is good. So you could use it daytime or nighttime. The peptides that are in here are really good for helping with fading dark spots and helping with fine lines and wrinkles, things like that. Peptides are really, really good for your skin. I do like using this moisturizer, but like I said, I have other ones that I like a little bit more that have more active ingredients. I think this would still be a step up over the e.l.f. just because it does have those peptides in it, but I don't know how many of those peptides are in there, like how effective they are, you know what I mean? There's other brands that make peptide moisturizers that work really, really well. Like I know I was using the Drunk Elephant Protein moisturizer, which is peptides, and I love that moisturizer. I don't really want to support the brand, but I love that moisturizer so much. I bought this one hoping it would be a dupe for that, and it's absolutely not. It's a nice moisturizer. It's not a dupe for Protein at all. So if that's what you were thinking with this one too, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not the same thing. But it is a nice moisturizer. I've got a little ways to go with this, but I have a bunch of moisturizers in my collection, so I'm gonna try not to use this as a body lotion. We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna stick to using this on my face though. Something else that I finished skincare wise is my Luna Retinol Sleeping Night Oil from Sunday Riley. So this was a 100-point perk that I got from Sephora, and I didn't have that much left in here when I started it, so I was able to finish it this month. It is a really nice retinol. I got like halfway through this and then decided that I wanted a full size, so I ended up buying a full size, which then came with another one of these samples. So I've got a bunch of retinol waiting for me to finish up. I do like the product. It's a very lightweight oil, absorbs into my skin really quickly. It also has an ingredient called blue tansy mixed in, which is really, really good at minimizing redness and helping to balance out your skin's texture, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I love the scent of blue tansy too. So just smelling this whenever I go to apply it is like a really good like experience. You know what I mean? It kind of makes me feel a little bit fancy as I'm putting it on. I'm not going to open up the full size one just yet because I do have another retinol that I'm going to be replacing this with. Let me show you what that looks like. So this is my Inkey List retinol that I'm going to be replacing the Sunday Riley one with. I've had this for a while. It says you're supposed to use it within 6 months after opening. It's been more than 6 months. I think I've had this almost a year. So I want to go ahead and finish this up. I don't have that much left. I think I'll be able to mark this side. I want to say it's to like here. So I really only have this little bit at the bottom that's left. So I should be able to finish this in March. Like, if I don't finish this in March, there's a problem. But I should be able to finish this, and then I'll go back to using the Luna that I have. But this is a nice retinol too. This is the first one that I've ever used, and it's a really good one for beginners because it is a very, very low concentration of retinol. If you're looking for a step up from this and you want something that's going to do a little bit more, something that's a stronger concentration of retinol, then I would look at the Luna. But both of them are good for beginners. I just think this is like super beginner, and then that one's like level 2, level 3. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good product. It's a lightweight serum texture, so it feels really nice on my skin. I always go over it with a moisturizer afterwards because I don't think this is just enough on its own. I don't get any irritation to my skin as long as I use like just a basic moisturizer, not like an exfoliating one or a brightening one. I don't want to mix too many of those treatments at the same time. So if I'm going to use a retinol, I go with a basic moisturizer on top afterward, like the e.l.f. one that I finished or the peptide one from the Inkey List. If you want to learn more about how retinol helps to fade dark spots, I did a whole video talking about my favorite Inkey List products that work on dark spots, and this is one of them. You can check out that video at the card somewhere at the top. I think that's it for the skincare products I had, so let's go on to makeup. First makeup product, I actually finished this one, was my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I cut it in half, that way I could get all of the product out of the inside. If you're not already cutting your products in half, please do that. There is so much more product inside that you're missing out on, and you're wasting your money if you're not getting every single drop out of it. This is a nice kind of basic foundation primer. Helps to smooth out my skin's texture, helps to make me not look super shiny, kind of mattifies, but it still makes my skin look like skin. It's not overly matte. I like using this over when I have a sunscreen that makes me look a little too shiny, which is mainly how I finished using this over the last couple of months. The sunscreens that I'm currently using, I have the Black Girl sunscreen and I have the Medicate Daily Protect, Advanced Protect something, I forget what it's called. But both of those sunscreens leave a little bit of glow to my skin, which is fine. But if I'm going to work, by the end of the day, I look super shiny and oily. So layering this on top of those sunscreens helps me to mattify and not look shiny throughout the entire day without me having to worry about like a foundation primer that might transfer onto my mask or my face if I'm touching my face. Well, transfer onto my hands if I'm touching my face. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good foundation primer. Would I repurchase this? Probably if there was a sale. I think it's a little expensive to be like $30 something for just 1 ounce. And I know that there's other brands that make similar primers that don't cost this much. So if there was a really good sale going, yeah, I'd rebuy it, but like I'm fine using one from the drugstore that's going to do the same thing. To replace that primer, I'm adding in my Cover FX Blurring Primer. I got this one in gratis from when I used to work at Sephora. I also got the Smashbox one in gratis. I don't know if I said that before, but both of these were in gratis from my Sephora days. This is a nice blurring primer. It's similar to the Smashbox when it comes to mattifying my skin, but still making it look like skin. But I feel like because the texture of this is so much different, I don't know how it's going to work if I just layer it on top of skincare. It has a little bit of a tint to it, but I don't think that's really going to like do anything on my skin. So you can see it's like a creamy texture. And then it massages in really nicely. It makes my skin feel like dry. Like any shine or glow or anything that might be there, it's gonna like mattify the crap out of it. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. I haven't used this one in a while, but I've got a bunch of primers and things in my collection. Some of it's gratis, some of it's stuff that I bought, and I'm trying to get through it. So we'll see how this works. Next up is concealer. This is the Glossier. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer in the shade G4. There's a little bit of a dent in here. I'll have the picture so you can see it a little bit easier. I don't know how I feel about this concealer. So it's fine. It covers up my dark circles well enough. But I feel like even though it's the golden shade, it's still very pink on my skin. Wearing masks helps because you can't really tell that much, but like I can tell, which I don't want to be able to tell. It still looks very pink under my under eyes because I have such golden, almost like olive undertones, and I have not found a concealer that actually matches my undertones fully. So I thought this one was close. In some lighting it's fine, in other lighting I can definitely tell that it's there, which I'm not a fan of. Right now, I think I'm gonna wait and take this out of my project pan because I'm not really enjoying using it. I don't want to throw it out just yet. It's not even a year old yet. It says to use it up within 6 months. I mean, who can use up a concealer in 6 months? Unless you're using it like literally every single day. Yeah, I'm gonna take it out of my project for now. I have other concealers that match me a little bit better. Maybe as it warms up, if I get a little bit more of a tan, my skin gets a little bit more red, this might work a little better for me. I'll try it again in a few months. But I'm not the biggest fan of this, so I'm taking it out. Instead, I'm going to replace it with something else that I bought from Glossier, which is the Wowder. This is also in the shade G4, and I'm going to have to weigh it to show how much is in here because you can't really like check the lines. It's fine. I wasn't really impressed by these products that I bought from Glossier. I did a whole review of these over on my blog, but I don't really want to support the brand right now because if you check out on Instagram, there's an account called Out of the Gloss that was talking about how they aren't really treating their they're not treating their employees very well. So I don't know if that's gotten any better recently. I need to go check up on that again, but I'm not the biggest fan of them if that's what they're doing. I liked the idea of the like no makeup because that's normally what I do like on a daily basis is just I don't normally look like this. I don't normally do this much makeup. So I was really intrigued by that idea. But the products were just like okay. You know, the concealer was fine. It didn't match my skin as well as I wanted it to. It takes, like for my dark circles, I feel like I have to layer like almost 2 layers of the concealer to really cover them up. 1 layer just isn't enough. Oh, and the concealer doesn't really last throughout the day. Like I have other concealers that even wearing a mask, it doesn't really transfer or move around that much, and I still can tell that my under eyes are concealed at the end of the day, and I work 10-hour shifts. That concealer is gone like a few hours into the day. So I don't know, I have other ones that I like better. I'm not the biggest fan of that. The Wowder is kind of the same thing. It says it's in the shade G4, like the golden shade, but again it's kind of pink on my skin. It's probably a little too light for me. I bought it because it really matches like the middle of my face. If I put it all over and around the outside of my face, it makes me look ashy and like dusty. Like it's not the best. That's probably my own fault for putting it all over though. Even today I had to put a lighter powder here and then a darker powder on the outside of my face. That's just what I have to do because that's how my face is. But yeah, it's okay. It's nice to just kind of like lightly set my face, or like if my sunscreen's got me looking a little greasy, I can stamp it all over and it's okay. But I think the shade is just not the best one for me. It's kind of ashy and dusty looking. It's almost gray. Like it's like that. It's a little too pink, which then neutralizes on my skin tone and almost makes me look gray, which I don't really like. So I'm gonna try to use this up while we're still not going anywhere and I have a mask on. So I'm gonna see how much I can get through this just to go ahead and finish it because I have other powders that I like a lot better than this one. So I just want to use it up. I don't want to waste it and like throw the whole thing away. I just want to use it up. And the last thing is my eyebrow pencil. So this is the e.l.f. Brow Pencil in the shade Neutral Brown. I've had this pencil for so long. I don't have that much left. I'll have a picture on the screen, but like there's really not that much left. So I'm going to try to get through this. I think it'll probably take me like 2 more months to get through it, even though I wear my brows. What? Even though I do my brows most days, some days, not most days, like some days I do my brows. Maybe I'll push and try to do them more often in March. That way I can go ahead and finish this up. But yeah, it's a good pencil. It's not a very fine tip, so I used it today, and it's good for just like filling in sparse areas, but it's not going to give you like really skinny hair-like strokes if that's what you're looking for. I also like the shade of this. It's like an ashy brown, which is good for my skin tone because I've had some pencils that are more of a chocolatey brown that are just too warm on my skin. This one actually matches really well. It's not too dark. It blends right in. It almost doesn't look like I'm wearing anything like on my face, which is really nice. So I like the shade of this. I like the pencil. It's fine. I think e.l.f. makes a skinnier version, like a micro pencil that's like this. So once I get through this one and some of the other brow products that I have, I might check that out instead. If e.l.f. doesn't, I know that NYX has one. So if you're looking for a decent pencil, this is like $2. You can pick it up at Target. It's a nice one. Oh, and there's also a spoolie on the end, which is good for $2 to actually have a spoolie that comes with it. So yeah, it's a nice one, but I don't know, it's $2. You can't go wrong with that. So I think that's it. I'll double check the last video to see if I'm missing anything. I think that was everything though. I want to know if you are doing your own decluttering project. What is it on and how much progress have you made so far? A friend of mine is doing a decluttering project for tea because she's got a bajillion things of tea that she needs to drink up. So she's actually doing Project Pan for tea instead of beauty products. And I think that's really fun and that's really like creative. So if you're doing your own decluttering project, let me know what you're doing it on. If you are doing beauty products, have you tried any of these before? Have you had the same experience or a different experience? Is there anything that I should try out? Do you have any suggestions for foundation and concealer products that are golden olive undertones for dark skin? Because your girl's looking, okay? I've got a list going of like 7 different ones that I found so far, and I may end up buying all of them and doing like a full swatch review video later. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. All right, I hope this video helps, and I will talk to you later. Bye.